Welcome to Superbike Racing, Mr. Jason Aguilar. We just got the release not so long ago about the new team. Jason Aguilar Racing is going Superbike Racing with MotoAmerica in 2021. So it's awesome news. And honestly, it kind of, I know you've been leading up to it a little bit, but I'm sure there's a lot of people that are surprised the fact that you're making a big jump from Supersport to Superbike in your own team.
Yeah, it's awesome to be here and have the opportunity to race Superbike. It's always been something I've wanted to do, and I've always wanted to race Superbike. I grew up watching Ben Spies and Matt Mladen and all those guys battling it out, and that's just always a place I wanted to be at. And I was never exactly sure how to get there, whether or not it's best to try to join a team or do my own thing. And then, the past couple of years, I've just been doing my own thing in Supersport. And then for 2021, the plan was to go Supersport racing again, but we kind of had the death of the R6 earlier or at the end of last year, and we weren't sure what was going to happen with that whole program. So at that point, I took a couple of weeks to figure out what I wanted to do, and I was like, screw it, let's go Superbike racing. What better to do that? I have a great relationship with the guys at Yamaha, so they're helping me out with a ton of stuff on the R1, and I'm just, super pumped on the program. Like I don't think I could be more excited about it.
Now, your time on big bikes is really limited, right? I mean, I don't know what you've done, club racing or whatever, but I know in MotoAmerica you haven't been on one yet.
No, I've never rode. I've never rode an actual race or track prep 1000 before. I've rode some street bikes on the street and on the track before, mainly just for some magazine test article stuff. But aside from that, I've never actually rode a race bike R1. So it's going to be a whole new world for me. I've been on a 600 for a really long time. So now I have to step up to the R1 and step up to 1000 with no experience and just kind of go for it.
How difficult was it to put this together? I mean, has this been a long process, or was it able to come up pretty quick since you'd already had some experience with this doing your own 600 team?
Yeah, it's it's extremely difficult to run your own race program, no matter what class it is. Obviously, the higher up you go, the harder it's going to get. So, running Supersport, I had done it for the past couple of years, so it was a challenge, but it wasn't anything too bad. Running Superbike is very, very difficult. It's not impossible, but there's just so many things that you have to do. The bike is totally different. All the special parts you have to get, everything you have to do to try to make it competitive, and especially being the first year doing it, it's difficult to learn. I think, the following years, it'll be easier. I've had some great advice from, guys like Kyle Wyman, Chuck Giacchetto, and Richard Stamboli. They've helped me out with a ton of stuff. So it's been a lot easier on me than it probably would be for some other people trying to make it happen. So, like I said, it's not impossible, but it's very, very difficult. And, I probably decided mid-November, I'd say maybe mid to end of November, that I wanted to do it. And I've just been putting it together ever since then.
Well, you mentioned Kyle Wyman, and I mean, there's a perfect guy to get some inspiration from that's just down pit road, and I know you've had some conversations with him, as you mentioned. He's been pretty supportive and helpful?
Yeah, Kyle Wyman's been awesome. We kind of started, working together on just some little stuff. He was trying to help me out on some 600 stuff last year, and I've just been, chatting with him ever since. And then with the Superbike move, he was totally supportive of it. He's given me a ton of good advice. I might be able to get parts and stuff from him as well. It'll help out my program. So he's been super helpful. And, it's good to kind of follow a little bit in his footsteps, because you see his program go from the 600s to, a really big, significant Superbike program now, what he has. And that's, kind of the thing I'm looking to do, get the program coming from the 600s and then bring it up to the 1000, maybe try to give it a couple years and then try to have it be, a really big, significant program in the paddock.
All right, awesome. I know you took some time out of your busy work day there, so we're going to let you get back to that. And congratulations from us. We're excited to actually see you get going on the Superbike program. And based on your past, you'll be successful, and it'll be a lot of fun to have you involved in that. So, also, we're going to have you on next week's podcast, The Off Track with Carruthers and Bice. So we look forward to having another conversation with you then. But thanks again for joining us today on such quick notice.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
How about this guy, Jason